Can we just call stupid people stupid sometimes? She is not very smart. That doesn't mean that she can't speak cogently for 37 seconds in the middle of a congressional hearing when all her material has been pre-written. She can, but on her feet, she is a tortoise. She cannot move. She is stuck to the ground. Gravity has inordinate effect on her mind, apparently, when she is asked to stick and move. Here, she was asked about whether the United States should defend Taiwan if China seeks to make a move on Taiwan, and brain freeze.
Would and should the U.S. actually commit U.S. troops to defend Taiwan if China were to move?
I think that this is such a, I think that this is this is, of course, a very longstanding policy of the United States. And I think what we are hoping for is that we want to make sure that we never get to that point. And we want to make sure that we are moving in all of our economic research and our global positions to avoid any such confrontation and for that question to even arise.
And the Iraq and the Iraq
everywhere such as, and I believe that they should.
Ooh. Bad look there from Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez. Losing some of the fresh and losing some of the face. No longer so fresh face. Trademark. Man, that is some bad stuff. But of course, she's done this before. You can recall that one time when she interviewed with Margaret Hoover and she was asked about Israel and the Palestinians, and she did the exact same thing. She doesn't know things, okay? She doesn't. She doesn't read books. She doesn't study. She is not particularly smart. This is our politics now. Dumb people who are good on TikTok. This is our politics now. Congrats to everybody. You did great. Also, by the way, apparently the reason the United States went after Nicolas Maduro is because Venezuela is below the equator. Oh, wait, it isn't.
We look at what happened in Venezuela, for example. It is not a remark on who Maduro was as a leader. He canceled elections. He was an anti-democratic leader. That doesn't mean that we can kidnap a head of state and engage in acts of war just because the nation is below the equator. And
it's not below the equator. Also, it's not an act of war to capture a person who is a criminal and bring him back to the United States. We are not at war with Venezuela. We are currently working hand in glove with the Venezuelan government, actually. All of this, of course, was secondary to the actual stupidity, which was the big statement from her. The big statement from her is that, again, America, Europe, these are negative forces in the world. They are exploitive. They are capitalistic. And this means that they are bad. Here she explained that whiteness is an imaginary thing. Now, there's a complexity here that could theoretically be explored, but not the way she's doing it.
there's a very big difference between whiteness and national, like your actual culture, right? Whiteness is an imaginary thing.
Like, whoa, like, like, eh. Hey, by the way, if we're going to do that, then there is no such thing as Latino-ness, because it turns out that there are a bunch of different variations there. It turns out that people from Cuba, not exactly the same as people from Puerto Rico, not exactly the same as people from Argentina, or from Venezuela, or from Peru. Like, what point are, why is it only whiteness is not a thing? Blackness is a thing, even though, again, great variation in the so-called black community. I say so-called because a Nigerian American who got here 20 years ago is not exactly from the same group of people as American descendants of slaves, which is why we have a term, ADOS, American descendants of slaves. Whatever. Trying to delve into the depths of Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez's thought is like trying to jump from a diving board into a kiddie pool head first. You're likely to crack your neck. I'm not that short, but you know what is short? This clip. View more like this one on the Ben Shapiro Show Clips channel by clicking the subscribe button down below.